Welcome to Garage Orchestra with Mrs. Nelson. Today we're going to be talking about string basses.
Hello, string bass friends. Let's talk about unpacking this monstrosity of an instrument. You guys picked a good one. Hopefully you won't have to buy a new car just to transport your instrument around. Just kidding. You'd be amazed at the small cars that can fit a string bass in the back. All right, let's talk about uncasing this. For the cellos, I had them put their cello on their back to slip it out of the case. I do not recommend that at all with the basses, just because the bass is a much heavier instrument. We don't want to put unnecessary pressure on the bass's back if we don't have to. So I highly recommend that you start off by unpacking the bass, sitting on the floor with it on its side, just like this. Your case may be a little bit different than mine, but you have kind of the same thing going on here. I have 3 zippers on mine. You might only have 2. One down the front, and then 2 on the sides. You may have a case similar to a cello case, which has 1 big zipper along the side. So you'll have to check out your case and see what you have to deal with. First thing is to take the bow out of the case. And you know what? I just realized that I didn't even put my bow in here. So I can't show you what that looks like. But pull your bow out of the case and set it off to the side. We will not be using our bows for a little while. So just set it off to the side, but do not leave it in the case, because if you bent the case, you could actually snap the bow in half, and I don't want that to happen. So first things first, always take the bow out of the case. Next, you want to unzip as much as you possibly can. So with my case, I can unzip the big zipper in the front, and I can unzip the zipper on the top that goes about halfway. I cannot get to the bottom zipper without having to swivel the bass around. That's okay though, because I can peel off this case as much as I can, and then work on sliding the bass out of the case until I can get it to a point where I can stand it up. All right, so you can also uncase a bass from a standing position. I recommend, as a beginner, you get used to unpacking it on the floor, but if you have help from a parent, or if you're a really tall student, you could uncase it from standing position. Once you get better at uncasing your bass and playing your bass and get more comfortable holding your bass, then I think most bass players uncase their case from a standing position. And this is what that would look like. So again, I would take the bow out first and set it off to the side. Then I would reach down and undo whatever zippers that I can. So again, it's a long ways down there. From where I'm standing, I can only get 2 of my zippers again. And then I can just slide this off and kind of lift it over the bass without dropping the bass, and then put my case off to the side. Then I've got my bass right there. All right, I got the bass all unpacked. I went to go check on dinner and ended up spilling a bunch of stuff on me, so I changed my outfit. And let's get back to making this video. So your bass is unpacked. The next thing we need to do is let the end pin out just a little bit. So I would say probably start with just a couple inches, 3 to 4 inches maybe, and you will have to adjust from there as you figure out how tall your bass needs to be. Before we stand it up, let's talk about this little guy. This is called a rock stop, and we can use these on the ground if we're on like a wood floor that we don't want to scratch, or if we're on a slippery floor that we need the end pin not to slide on. If you're on carpet, you don't need to use it. And since I'm on carpet, I'm not going to use it. But you would put it right on the floor, and you'd put your end pin inside the little hole, and it would keep it from sliding around or keep it from damaging the floor. My end pin does not have a rubber tip on it, so if I were on a wood floor, I would put a nice big gash in it, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to set that off to the side. I don't need that. Let's stand up. All right, you're going to want to adjust your end pin until the first finger tape is right about at eye level for you when the base is just a little bit tilted towards you. We don't want the base standing up straight, and we don't want the base really leaned in towards us so it's laying on our shoulder. We just want it tilted a little bit towards us, kind of like if we were going to give it a hug. I'll also mention we don't want to be standing next to it, like we're going to take a picture with it, and we don't want to be in a T with it where it's facing forward and we're facing to the side. We want it to be just a little angled so it's hitting on our hip, not on our stomach, or not straight on the hip. We want it a little bit on the front side of our hip. First finger tape at about eye level, and you can adjust your end pin and figure out what height is best for you. From here, I should mention your feet. Your feet should be placed flat on the floor. We don't want them crisscrossed, and we just want them flat on the floor. And one of them, your left one, might have its knee bent a little bit and just barely touching the side of your base. Let me show you what that looks like. From here, your left hand can just lay on the base on the top shoulder, just to give yourself a little bit more support since this is the first time you're playing your bass. And today we're going to learn how to pizzicato. That means to pluck the string. So to do this correctly, I want you to make an L shape with your right hand, and we're going to place our thumb on the side of the fingerboard. If you can see where my thumb is, a couple inches up. So I like to do about 3 inches up, depending on how tall you are, how short you are, and how big the base is for you. You can maybe adjust that by a little bit, but a little bit of the way up the fingerboard. And we're going to keep that L shape, and you're going to reach over, and let's try our G string first. We're just going to pluck with the side of our finger, not the tip of our finger, but the side of our finger. So this part right here, not the tip, but the side. And we're going to pluck with a downward over motion. You can try all 4 strings. G is the highest, D, A, and E. Good job. All right, we are going to learn a little song today. It's called the ANTS song, and it goes like this. Eek, 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 look at all the ants, 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 digging in the dirt, 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 going underground, round, round. This song is going to help us remember the names of our strings. We're going to start on the lowest string, the E string, and that is the eek, 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 eek. Look at all the, can you guess what comes next? You're right, the A string, ants, 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 digging in the dirt for D string, dirt, 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 going under, ground for G string, ground, ground, ground. Good. And in full context, without all those extra words, it's going to sound like this. Eek, eek, eek. Look at all the ants, 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 digging in the dirt, 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 going underground, ground, ground. Good. The goal is to play at a nice steady tempo and say our words to help us keep steady. Would you like to try it with me? Get your L shape, put your finger along the fingerboard, and we're going to start on our lowest string. 1, 2, ready, go. Eek, eek, eek. Look at all the ants, 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 digging in the dirt, 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 going underground, ground, ground. Good job. Did you notice I plucked the string 3 times and then put a little space in before the next string just to give myself a little time to get over? Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, go. Eek, eek, eek. Look at all the ants, 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 digging in the dirt, 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 going underground, ground, ground. Great job. You just learned your first song, the ant song.